everybody, and welcome back to your favorite generational podcast. That's right, the Boomer and the Zoomer, the #1 most hated podcast by its own fans. Now, I am joined, of course, by Boomer extraordinaire, Asterios Kokonos. I, of course, am Mumkey Jones, but you all knew that. Of course you all knew that, because you're all listening to this on my YouTube channel that I'm definitely still uploading these to. Oh, wait, no. If you're seeing this with your eyeballs, that means you're one of the blessed few who decided to follow the video feed over to Patreon. Asterios, did we have any negative backlash in the comments that we're no longer putting out the video version for free?
Well, we got a surprise. We got a lot more understanding than I was expecting. But we did get one comment. Actually, we got a couple. A guy named Alpha RW says, why? Because the reason I don't want to put video on YouTube is that all my videos are now instantly getting demonetized. And so Alpha RW writes, why are you upset about being demonetized when you probably haven't even made $500 on YouTube? And it's like, that's kind of not the point. Like,
especially when we could be monetizing the content elsewhere.
And making $500 on Patreon. Yes, that's a very good point, Monkey Jones.
No shit, I can't make money on this website, so I'll put it on the monetized platform.
Yeah. Yep. Very, very goddamn good point.
Here's the thing about these people who are complaining. It's sort of like deaf people, where you can talk shit about them all you want because they're never gonna hear it. So many comments. This guy said, it looks like I'll never be listening to this show again. My favorite podcast, but I guess I'm not gonna download it on Podbean or iTunes. And I'm thinking, well, fuck this guy. I could say anything I want about him. Who's gonna tell him? He's not gonna listen to this. He just said he quit. You lazy fucking asshole.
That's another excellent point. I'm trying to pull up a comment that somebody made Friday night. They wrote, here we go. They texted this to me. They took the time to text me this. Welp, show's great, but not worth paying for. Guess that was my last episode. Shrugging emoji. Thanks for the laughs while it lasted.
As if the show's not fucking free.
Yeah, yes, as if the show's not free, as if the show still won't be provided as an audio podcast and as an audio podcast on my YouTube channel. And also, it's like, look, I definitely understand that people, look, I don't want to pay for anything. I don't want to pay for food. I don't want to pay rent. I don't want to pay shit. But, for somebody to text me, your show is great, but not worth paying for, it's like... it's like saying, hey, what you do has zero value. And it's like, could you not text this to me?
Do these people not realize that they're the only one who's getting hurt by this? Me, personally, getting one less podcast view on YouTube really means nothing to me. You're the one who's losing an hour and a half of free shit that you genuinely enjoy every week. You're just harming yourself. Why the fuck do you think I care that you're not going to follow us to iTunes? You think I give a shit? You're the one who's depriving yourself of something you want, you fucking moron. It's free. Just click the fucking download button. Why are you so proud of yourself that you're punishing yourself out of being lazy? So proud of this that you're going to tell me. Why would I ever care about you watching this show as an individual little louse who doesn't give a shit about us? Clearly, one motherfucking guy said, I'm not going to pay for the live show or for the Patreon video feed, so I'm just going to stop being a fan of the show. I guess I should get a refund on my ticket. What the You paid $20 for that fucking ticket! Either go to the show or get your refund and put it in, like, you're clearly willing to give us money to see us perform this shit. Why? I don't even understand what's going on!
I told that guy the same thing. I was like, "What? How about this? I'll give you a refund on your ticket, and you can subscribe to Mumkey Jones's Patreon for 20 months in a row,
yeah.
and you can get the video feed for the next year and a half." I do think that this is a boomer zoomer thing. I swear to God, I do.
You think only
Which is,
the young Zoomers are the ones complaining here?
I mean, the internet is for complaining. I think that everyone complains about fucking everything, but I also think that if you're a Zoomer, you've been watching YouTube since you were a kid, and so you are used to things just being free on YouTube. And so for somebody to say like, "Hey, we'd love it if you chip in a couple of bucks to
And
get
even if you don't, you still get the show for
for
free. You
free,"
just don't get the premium version for free.
right. Yes, exactly. I think that there are Zoomers who feel that is rude. And I think that's what they are reacting to. They see it as rude that you would ask. Like they see it as like audacious and kind of insulting. What do you think of that, though? I mean, that's just my thought about the Boomer Zoomer divide.
That sounds very funny and very accurate. I laughed tears of sadness and joy at the at the comedic unveiling of my generation's downfalls, Asterios.
It's strange because I feel like an odd sense of pride when I buy an album. Like I just bought an album the other day, like a girl punk band from the '90s on Sub Pop. And I'm like, yeah, way to go, Asterios. Like, you didn't just listen to this on YouTube like you could have. Like, you spent $10 on an album. Like, oh, that's so nice. I think if I told that to a 14-year-old, he would call me stupid. He would be like, why did you do that, stupid? Are you too dumb to steal this album? And it's kind of like, that's not the point. But at the same time, like, you can't explain it. You know what I mean? Like,
I
don't
can
think
explain it. I
Oh,
think
sure.
the purest joy in fandom, especially when it's an underserved piece of art, like something that with a small independent artist with a tiny fan base. I think it's very rewarding, and I've patroned many people who have like teeny tiny channels. I think it's so rewarding to promote the stuff you like that is not popular, that does not make a lot of money from ads or anything, because you feel like now you're a piece of it and you're supporting independent creativity. And I'm not just watching Watch Mojo again and making them earn all this fucking money. I'm watching an actual person who I like and giving them $5 so that they can keep making more stuff that I like comfortably in their lives. I think it's a great feeling. I don't know.
I definitely agree with you that at some point I start rooting for people. Like that's what like after you got Susan Zucked off of YouTube, you know, the thing I always tell you is that like I feel like people care about you more now and I feel like you're going to be even better than you were before. It's like cuz now we have a reason to root for Mumpke Jones. Like our friend is in trouble. It's like I root for the Red Letter Media guys. Like I root for Rich Evans. There's so many podcasters like the McElroy brothers. Like I actively root for their success, even when they're making what's that face? The face where you bug your eyes out and you make your mouth into a circle.
I think it's called like the soy cuck face.
I've heard it called the soy cuck face. I feel like the reason people pose with their face like that though is because they have big fat faces. And it's a way to like I have a face that is as wide as it is tall. Like my face is like a perfect circle. Like you could use my face to trace out the sun in your kindergarten art project. And for video viewers, here's a little fucking bonus. Like so here's my face normally. Now here's me making the soy boy face. As you can see, it's extended, it's more ovoid. And so I think it's a way to look less fat in pictures. What do you think of my soy boy face theory, Mumpke Jones?
No, I think it ties right into why they have the neck beards too, to hide that double chin. These
Yep.
are, all that soy it's not going to their thighs, it's going to their face and neck. And yeah, you're
Yes.
right. When you did that pose, you looked slimmer and you had a more oval face. I have to admit.
Yeah. Like another trick that I personally pull, and I'm saying this out there to other guys who may be trying to lose weight. I keep this part of my beard longer than this part of my beard. I keep my chin, like I cut my chin with a different grade of trimmer than my sideburns and my cheek hair, so that my face has like a more defined. My entire face is essentially, now that I realize it, an optical illusion to convince you that my face might not be a perfect circle. Like big, thick glasses at the top, so that like there's a lot of mass up here. So naturally, like things must be sloping down. They're not. My cheeks actually probably extend out farther than my eyeglasses do. Like a lot of chin hair down here, just the whole shebang. I'm thrown at my fucking face. The whole world.
All right, Boomer. I think we are burying the lead here because a moment ago, you yourself were discussing just the pureness and how good it feels to root for and support and help independent small creators, which brings me back to one of the staples of this podcast. We have some Andy Signore updates. Now, Asterios, what kind of sound effect, what sound bite should play for the Andy Signore segment on this show? Like a woman saying no, or like a slapping sound effect, or heroic music like the Avengers would have?
I love heroic Avengers music.
Wow!
Zwick, play heroic Avengers music.
For the Andy Signore segment, the man who refuses to be helped. Asterios, in case anybody's jumping into the show 20 episodes late, can you get? I think you would explain this best. Can you give us a brief rundown of us trying to help poor Andy Signore?
Sure. Andy Signore kind of, how do I put it? It turned out that Andy Signore was hitting on a lot of his female interns and employees and things like that, and
at Screen Junkies.
At Screen Junkies, and so he was kind of drummed out. A lot of the texts have come out, like there's like corroborated evidence of it, and I mean, I think one of the biggest fucking problems at Screen Junkies was the HR department was just like, he's the golden goose. So like people would go to HR with like lots and lots of evidence, and HR would just bury it all under the rug to like defend their like, you know, their fucking golden goose. So when Andy Signore came on the show, I said like, just comment on it and say it's all a lie.
You just say you didn't do it.
If you can say I did not do these things, then, you know, it's like you got to put your side of the story out there. And he refused to say I didn't do these things, even when one of us started reading the texts and all. Look, I'm going on for this for too long, but what do you got?
So yeah, you offered him great help, and for some reason he turned it down and got very defensive, and he only continued the podcast after you were forced to leave the room, Asterios. So I've been thinking a lot about Andy. I want him to be successful. We've seen several times he started his own YouTube channel after getting kicked out of Screen Junkies, who has, I think, 6 million subscribers. You know, Andy, he has to start fresh. He has to be an independent creator who's sort of the counterculture to the Screen Junkies. He's not an industry guy anymore. He's not living it up in Beverly Hills, LA, the hills, all these places with eyes, Asterios, eyes and cameras galore. But he's not that anymore. He's not about that life. He's about the indie creator running out of a studio in Florida, living in his parents' house again. Probably not in contact with his ex-wife or children. But he started his own channel called Popcorned Planet, and I've been subscribed to it. And a very curious thing happened yesterday. We're recording this Wednesday night, so yesterday on Tuesday. Screen Junkies, every single week, Tuesday at the same exact time, I think it's 3 p.m., for years, that's the exact time spot where they post their new honest trailers. They're a flagship show. Each episode gets probably 4 million views or something like that. Every single week at the same exact time. But Popcorned Planet, for some reason, and this had to have been intentional, thought whoever this Popcorn Planet guy, I know Andy Signore hosts it, but surely he's not also the operator of the YouTube channel. This is a big corporation. I'm sure somebody else is in charge of that kind of stuff. but they decided to post their new video at the same exact time as the new Honest trailer. Boomer, can you believe that he thinks that time slot is competitive and that viewers subscribe to both channels, will choose to watch his video rather than the brand new Honest trailer, which this week was for Howard the Duck. Now, what do you, as a person, are you more likely these two pop up on your notifications at the same exact time? Do you watch Honest Trailers, Howard the Duck, or Popcorn Planet's newest 41-minute podcast about iconic Marvel Cinematic Universe moments?
Oh God, I don't watch either. I see.
You don't want to hear some yucks about Howard the Duck?
I mean, no.
Duck penis calendar jokes, hilarious.
Duck condom jokes, fucking Leia Thompson having sex with a duck jokes, Steve Gerber losing his intellectual property jokes. No.
Do you think, off the top of your head, you could write 80% of what's in this Honest trailer without even watching it?
I've never seen Howard the Duck, and I could absolutely write. I could absolutely write the fucking Honest trailer. I mean,
that sounds to me like Andy's content might be more original. I doubt you can guess what Andy's most iconic MCU moment was, but you can guess every joke in the Howard the Duck Honest trailer, Asterios.
There aren't that many iconic MCU moments. These movies are like popcorn. I like eating them. It's not my favorite snack. I probably wouldn't eat them if I wasn't at the movies. But
it sounds, the more you talk, the more it sounds like you're leaning towards Popcorn Planet. You're even using popcorn as your metaphor over there.
No. I'm definitely
you got popcorn something on the mind.
What the fuck? First off, can we talk about the fact that the channel's not called Popcorn Planet?
He said that was taken.
Yes, it was taken because when you go to popcornplanet.com, it's a popcorn store, as you might expect. So he's turned the word popcorn into a verb as to popcorn something. This entire planet has been popcorned.
We've succumbed to all of these cape shit blockbusters, Asterios. It's truly high satire that Andy Signore is doing here. He's just pretending that he obsesses over these movies and is a fat bearded man.
That's the other weird thing that he does but first off, let me just finish. You can't popcorn something. You can popcorn, but you can't, it's not like pickling. Popcorn, it's not like frying, pickling, popcorning. You can fry a planet. You can pickle a planet. You can't popcorn a planet. You could cover a planet in popcorn, but then it would be Popcorn Planet, which you can't use because there is a Popcorn Planet.
I think we need some popcorn scientists to test your theory here. Folks, if you can film yourself popcorning anything, send it to at Asterios on Twitter, and we will watch these videos next week.
Sure, you know what? I am 100% willing to be wrong about
I want to prove that Andy Signore is right about whether or not something can be popcorned. I think you're way off base on this one.
Okay. Well, look, I guess we'll have to agree to disagree.
I don't know why you keep disagreeing with Andy Signore's points of view and his life choices. Why do you keep trying to disagree with Andy Signore so hard that now you're, I assume, doing some sort of bit pretending that you can't popcorn a planet? Come on, Asterios. This material is beneath you. Popcorning a planet is a realistic goal.
When you hang popcorn around a Christmas tree, they're called popcorn garland.
Yeah, you popcorned that tree.
But it's not called popcorn string. It's a popcorn garland or a popcorn string. You're not popcorning the string. You're not popcorning the tree. You're adorning the tree with popcorn. Anyway.
What if popcorning something just means putting it in the microwave until it explodes? I just popcorned a puppy.
But you could... You know what? That would make a lot more sense, actually.
Yeah.
That would make a lot... I like what you just said, especially
exploding a puppy in a microwave is what you like?
Yeah, that is funny. A long time ago,
do you think Andy ever did that in the Screen Junkies break room? He popcorned a puppy?
It's so interesting to me still that Andy Signore triggers us both for totally different reasons. He triggers you because you're afraid that one day you could become a YouTube laughing stock lol cow.
Well, and also he was living the ultimate loser nerd boy lifestyle. He was the head of a huge YouTube channel where his job is just to talk about the new Marvel movie.
and get paid a lot of money
A
to
shit
do
ton
it.
of money.
Yes. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you get you get all these interns that you can like send sexual messages to. He's living the life. He's living the dream. And this retard got caught. And now, like, of course I'm angry. You watch God give up his powers before you. You think, well, you motherfucker, I want powers. That's bullshit. You just give that up. I resent him because he's what I wanted to be, and he ruined it.
He had it all and he lost it. That's a really fun. I mean, for me, the reason he triggers me is that A, we look identical.
Yeah.
We look you could not pick us out of a lineup. And then B, he's so outward about his liberalism on social media. And that it's just kind of, and then of course he does the absolute opposite in real life, and like he's the kind of guy that like makes me worry. Like it's like, am I like an Andy Signore and I don't even know it? Like
we're all worried that we will one day become him.
Yeah, because it's like no one knows they're an Andy Signore. Like society tells you you're an Andy Signore when it's too late. Nobody wakes up one day and is like, I'm gonna become Andy Signorned. Like I'm gonna Andy Signore into my life. It's just you wake up one day and you're Andy Signore. Yeah, it's so strange. It's such a strange, scary tale. Well, anyway, look, not to fucking let Screen Junkies off the hook. Like, isn't Honest Trailers just essentially like the world's largest barrel filled with the world's dumbest fish? Like, okay, first off, they start off all their goddamn videos with In a World. The In a World guy has been dead for 20 years now. And Janine Garofalo made fun of the In a World guy in 1992 when she was doing stand-up on Letterman. It's kind of like, well, do we really need somebody to tell us that like trailers are shitty every week, or that these movies are shitty every week? It's like, yeah, no shit, Howard the Duck is bad. What are some other honest trailers that they've done recently? Because I'm guessing you watch them all with a mixture of hatred and delight.
No, the Honest Trailers are honestly one of the, no pun intended, the only thing from Screen Junkies I don't watch is their flagship program. I like the podcasts and the streams where they talk about the daily news a lot more, and the Movie Fights podcast that I of course wanted to join and reenact on this show until one of the co-hosts, of course, crushed that dream.
God damn it.
But the way that the conversation is flowing, it seems you say people would not want to become Andy Signored, and that Screen Junkies, although popular, they're running out of ideas. But we didn't even get to the point of my screenshot here of both these videos going out at the same time. You might be surprised. Released at the same time, Honest Trailer and Popcorn Planet video. Which one do you think had more views after 1 hour?
Wow.
What's your guess?
I mean, you wouldn't be asking this question if there wasn't a twist, but my honest guess would be Honest Trailers. It's a thing that's been nominated for Emmy Awards. Literal, like...
Yeah, but Andy Signore used to run Honest Trailers. He was there accepting the loss at the Emmys 2 years in a row. So maybe he bottled that magic when he started that Emmy-nominated show, and he has it back on his new channel, Popcorn Planet.
I'm gonna say I absolutely doubt it.
Okay, well, but here's the score.
What's the score?
After 1 hour, the Honest Trailer had 33,000 views.
Mm-hmm.
The Popcorn Planet podcast had 33 views.
Oh my God.
I wrote this up to being the true power of the hashtag #MeToo movement. He's had his view counts divided by 1,000.
Yeah, you know, this is something that I think about a lot. Like, because again, I can so easily see this happening to me. Like, because I so get easily mad online, like a goddamn tantrum, like a goddamn baby. The reason that like Andy Signore, Chris Hardwick from the Nerdist. What's the name of the guy, the Indian American actor comedian from Parks and Recreation? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Robert De Niro.
No, not Robert De Niro. He also had his own show on Netflix for 2 seasons called, what was it, like Master of Romance or something?
Master of None.
Yeah, Master of None.
Yeah.
Here we go. Master of None. Aziz Ansari and Andy Signore. It's not that these guys committed like audacious acts to the level of like a Louis C.K. Like Aziz Ansari, he lost his career when somebody published do you remember this? Like somebody
That he was just like a bad date.
Yeah, yes. He was bad date, like he was on a date with a girl and then they went back to his place and then they apparently like they both exchanged oral sex and then he wanted to have sex. The girl was like, "Oh, I'm not interested." So they just went back to watching movies. Then at some point, Aziz Ansari tried to have sex again. The girl wasn't interested. The girl later texted him, and then she like wrote about it on a blog. And like, you know, she's not accusing Aziz Ansari of committing any crimes. The same thing with Chris Hardwick. Like, Chris Hardwick's ex-girlfriend writes a blog about like how, you know, after she had like a horrifying surgery to her to her body, like I think she, you know, she might have had to get like a mastectomy or like something very serious. Like the first question Chris Hardwick asks in front of her and her mother in the hospital is, how soon until we can have sex again? Like, that's not a crime. But the thing is, it teaches you that the currency of these internet people like us is likability. You know what I mean? Like Aziz Ansari, everybody loved him. He was the funny guy on Parks and Rec, and he's doing fun raps, and he's like a little short little guy, and he's doing his Randy character during Funny People. And Chris Hardwick, like he's on stage and he's not telling very funny jokes, but like nobody thought Chris Hardwick was funny. They were all just like, "Oh, he's so likable. He seems to be so genuinely into Star Wars and Star Trek and Harry Potter." The fucking same thing with Andy Signore. Like he's this like big teddy bear guy who's like seems to be in all these fucking movies. And then you find out a little bit more about them and that's it. And it's like the same thing happened to Maddox. Like Maddox's content never changed. It's just at some point he became unlikable. And it's kind of like once you become unlikable, that's it. You can't like convince someone to like you again. You can do all the PR in the world and you can like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm being loud. You can like wipe sludge off of dying baby seals and you can feed the homeless. Like you can fucking do everything. But it's kind of over for you. Is this something you ever thought about?
It's making me think right now that with your background in advertising and I assume some sort of PR stuff and your comedic background, I think you owe the world some sort of a comedic how to fix your reputation guide book of some kind. I think you could do something really funny with that.
You know, somebody did reach out to me. I'm not going to say who because it was private, but like a listener of mine was like, a friend of mine got in trouble on YouTube for saying some homophobic stuff. What can he talk to you because you used to do PR? And I talked to the guy and I told him like you know the guy was like, maybe I could put out an album and give the money to gay people, or maybe I can like find a friend and like we can record a song together and he's gay and I'm straight. And I was like, no, honestly, what you have to do is you have to go find.
You have to become gay.
You have to go.
You have to fuck a guy.
Dick. I told him like you have to. I told him like, well, the problem with gay kids is that a lot of times when their parents find out they're gay, they get kicked out of the house. And the same with trans kids. Like the moment these kids come out as trans, like their parents disown them. Like that's why there's a lot of homeless gay and trans teenagers. I said, so what you got to do is you got to go down to a homeless gay or trans shelter for homeless gay or trans teens and you got to help those kids out for a year, and you got to not tell anyone you're doing it. Like, don't put it on your Facebook stories, your Instagram stories. Don't tweet like hashtag I'm helping today. I said, like, I think you got to just go find a bunch of gay kids and help them. And then after a year, I think you'll know what to do next. And maybe you'll understand why people are pissed off. And maybe you can take, maybe like interacting with this community who you've hurt might teach you a thing or two.
Oh, Asterios.
Wait, what do you, was that bad advice? What do you
Oh
think?
my God, what am I listening to? You call yourself a PR man? He doesn't say fix me as a person. Come fix my soul. I'm a hateful, bigoted man. I want to learn the spiritual ways of love and belonging. No, he said fix my PR. This is the exact fucking opposite. Don't post it on Facebook. What the fuck do you think public relations is, Asterios? Everybody's gonna think he's a bigot while he's doing the work of Jesus. What a horrible nightmare. You do all of the work and you get the punishment instead of the reward. What are you talking about? You've ruined this kid's life.
Well, you're in luck, Buffy Jones. I don't think he took the advice. I think he was like, thanks, but I'm going to do a concert for gay people. I'm going to go get a bunch of gay people in a room and sing at them and then give the money to gay.com. And I was like, okay. Oh, I tried. What are you going to do?
Well, you try to improve the person. He wanted you to improve his reputation. Very different.
No, those are two very different things.
But hey, speaking of helping people,
yes,
we got to finish the Andy story because I figured,
yes.
I'm not in the mood to watch Howard the Duck, so I was one of, I assume, the many who clicked on the Andy Signore video instead.
Okay.
Now you're gonna be shocked to hear this because Andy, of course, he was the head of Screen Junkies for like 3 or 4 years. He made the first honest trailer all by himself. I think he was the one voicing the Phantom Menace one. He surely knows a thing or two about editing and post-production and really just making a YouTube video that is watchable. You would think that, right?
One would think.
Surely there's no possible way this guy who had the position he had would upload absolute fucking dog shit to his channel that he's trying to build up and be a rival to Screen Junkies. But this video, what's it called? A most iconic MCU moment, Marvel Nerd Wars. Of course, Nerd Wars, very distinct from movie fights.
Nerd Wars, really?
Yeah, that's the name of his movie fights ripoff. The audio was not balanced. At all. They're sitting in like an actual podcast studio. I think he's renting it out or a friend owns an actual podcast studio. Nicer microphones than what we're using right now. Sitting in a big circle with a million of these fucking black things on the walls. But I swear to God, Andy's microphone is turned up 100%. Everybody else's is either 20% or 0. Some of the people who are talking are inaudible. It's completely silent. Like, it's so fucking quiet. I think you can hear them being picked up on the mics of people who are adjacent to them. And he uploads this, so like every time he gets into an argument with somebody whose mic is turned down to 10%, every time he grunts or interjects or does anything at all, he is literally 10 times louder than them. So it's if he doesn't want to come off as super aggressive towards women, this podcast, this video he uploaded is doing the exact opposite fucking job because he's overtaking these women in this argument and he's way fucking louder to them. So I comment.
Yes.
You have an idea about this?
I just went to the page and I'm looking at these comments. No, please go ahead. Sorry.
So I comment. Of course, he banned Mumkey Jones from commenting, or
yes.
Simeon Jimmy, or whatever you want to call me. But I have many other accounts, one of which is called Evan Thomas. And I wanted to give him a piece of advice, so I said, I commented on his video, what's the point of all those fancy microphones if you can't balance the audio in post? Good question. It's very easy to balance audio in post. You could just take his audio, drop it in Audacity, a free program, highlight everything, hit the compressor button, and then everybody's audio will be about the same level. I mean, it's very, very easy. Surely he would know this, right? I mean, he's been working in the video making industry for half a decade. He would know the basics of leveling the audio, right? Well, Popcorn Planet replies to Evan Thomas down in the chat, and he says, "You want to come help? The show is free. I'm trying the best I can. Jesus, crying, laughing emoji.
Oh.
So I agree. The show is free. Nobody's trying to fight you on that, Andy. The problem is the free product you're putting out is unwatchable because I literally cannot hear over half of the people on your podcast, and it's 41 minutes of you talking very loudly and then everybody else whispering. So what I decided to do is to help him.
Yes.
What do we do? We help him. So
Yes.
here's what I literally do.
Oh God.
I downloaded his video. I put the audio in Audacity. I leveled it. It took about 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I re-uploaded his video with the fixed audio to my Evan Thomas channel, unlisted, copy and pasted the title, and then put in parentheses, fixed audio. And I post a link to it, replying to Popcorn Planet, and I say, next time pay me. He responds, better yet, show me what you did. Hit me up on Twitter at Andy Signor. Now, the problem is he has me blocked on Twitter, so I can't show him what I did to help. We try to help him so much on this show, and he goes out of his way to not heed our help. Asterios.
The thing that I think, and by the way, I'm very, very sleepy, so I apologize if I'm talking a little slowly. Like, when we had him on episode 2, and I'm telling him, just come out and say you didn't do these things.
Very
Like,
easy.
That,
They can't hold it against you in court if it's true.
yes, that's the thing. Like, no,
Your Honor, you don't understand. Andy went onto a podcast and claimed he didn't do it. Oh no, the case is ruined. Oh, like what?
yes, that's totally insane. Like, the thing is, yeah, like, I don't like Andy Signor. I've never really liked Andy Signor. Like, I haven't liked him since he took all the credit for a bunch of jokes that a buddy of mine wrote for honest trailers, and then like didn't let the kid get an Emmy nomination. Like, some poor fucking kid from North Hollywood can't go to the Emmys, like, because Andy Signor needs to fill up 2 fucking seats. But the thing is, my advice was actually good advice. That's why it was so confusing.
So was mine. I literally fixed his video. He just hates good advice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of like, it's like like, you should go out and say, I didn't do it. You should absolutely do that. Brett Kavanaugh, when he was on the stand, he didn't go out there and say, like, I maybe did it, I maybe didn't, I'm not going to talk about it. He was like, I never did these things. Like, whether or not you believe him, it is just good PR to take a stand, to make a statement, and then move on. Like, that's what you do. When you don't talk about something like Maddox didn't forever, the vacuum is filled by rumor and innuendo. Like, if you can't, like, if Maddox had just come out and said, like, I've said this a million times, like, Maddox had just come out and said, I ended the biggest problem in the universe because my co-host slept with my ex-girlfriend, and I don't want to work with him anymore. That would be it. Like, we wouldn't all be in court, and that guy wouldn't be like the laughingstock of the internet. Like, you just go out there early, tell the truth, and move on.
Or if you're trying to be a rival to Screen Junkies and post videos at the exact same time, same release date, at least level the audio on your fucking podcast. All these common sense protocols he seems to be, one, ignoring, which makes me think he might be either incompetent or lying about both things. And 2, we give him free advice, a penny's worth of free advice.
Yes.
And he doesn't even take it to throw it into a wishing well, wishing that the court case goes well with a company that is also being sued by everybody else for fraud and bankruptcy. So good luck getting a penny out of them, even if you're right.
Yeah, holy shit, that would be like suing Enron. It's fucking insane. Like, the reason a corporation exists is to shelter people from bankruptcy. The other piece of advice that I would just straight up give Andy Signor is, you should not be on camera. Like, if you have skills as a producer...
Clearly not, because the video was very poorly produced. A random kid in North Carolina had to spend a whole 5 minutes fixing it for him.
That's true, but at the same time, he has 4 people in the room with him. Like, I just watched a little bit of the video. He has 4 internet people in the room with him that are probably like, I don't know, all talking about Star Trek or some bullshit. Like, Andy, remove yourself from that equation and the content immediately becomes less divisive and better. I feel like Andy Signore is doing Popcorn Planet entirely out of spite, which is something that you kind of gotta respect. But at some point, if spite isn't working, you have to change up your spite plan. Like
Well,
Andy,
spite and I think narcissism. He wants to be the
yes,
star. He wants to be the center of attention. He wants to be the spotlight. He didn't get that so much on Screen Junkies, even though he felt like it was his baby that he built up with the Honest Trailer empire. So now, of course, now that he's running his own rival channel, yeah, every single thing is going to have him be the first thing you see when it starts up, and he's going to host the whole. He doesn't. If he was truly trying to build this up as a professional YouTube channel, wouldn't he hire like an actual seasoned host for this content? Somebody with an easy to like Chris Hardwick in 2011 personality sort of thing.
yes.
Do we really want to see Andy filming his Aladdin trailer reaction in his parents' house in his childhood bedroom with his Bart Simpson doll in the background from when he was a kid?
It's just so sad, and that's not a great headspace to discuss the most iconic moments in the MCU. Like, what he should have done was gotten a female host, and he should have been completely behind the scenes, and he should have just been the money guy. He should have been a guy that you could take to meetings, and he can be like, he could be like, you got to invest in us. I did it all with honest trailers. He could claim I got screwed by Hollywood, but I still have a lot I can add to any project. I'll be a silent partner. My name won't be on the credits, but I can bring my expertise to this. Like, that's how he should have done it. But he has such a hard on for proving that
he's the draw.
Right, exactly. Do you ever worry that we're narcissists?
I think you have to be to get into this business in the first place, but you have to be a very smart and clever with your narcissism. You can't do it. You can't be so bold like Andy and think that you need to be the center of attention. You need to sprinkle the narcissist flakes on top of this stew that you're cooking.
I mean, I think you're definitely right. Like, I think you have to be a narcissist and clever. I mean, I guess it takes a leap of faith to assume that anyone would ever want to hear what you have to say. But sometimes I think about like narcissistic injury. Like, I remember, like, I read a long time ago one of the Ender's Game books, and like the main villain like suffered from narcissistic injury, and
What does that mean?
it's like when somebody razzes you and you just fly off the fucking handle because your internalized picture of yourself as this like perfect Superman can't handle even the slightest bit of criticism and tweaking.
That might be why I've lost every podcast co-host I've ever had, because all I can ever do in every show is just make fun of the other guy and poke the bear. And I guess all these, they must be way bigger narcissists than you, Asterios, because every week you take it on the chin, you yuck it up, you make the joke funnier. These guys, they just cry in the corner. Kick me off the show. What's the deal? Why can't they get over themselves and let me bully them properly?
I can tell that, like, I can tell that you are kidding, and also you're very good at what you do. Like, when you rip on me or one of your co-hosts or whatever, I'm just kind of like, yeah, I can't argue with that. That's funny. You know what I mean? And for
like
me,
when we
I'm
call
like,
Psy or Digibro pedophiles because they like lolis. Like, yeah, it's a funny joke, but also if you think about it, maybe. I mean,
that's a whole other thing.
Or calling Asperger a fat retard, even off air. Like, you can't deny.
I mean, like, for me, I'm kind of like, I would rather be working with somebody funnier than me than somebody not. Like, I really like working with Sriracha and with Pete Saliva. Like, Dick is one of the funniest people I've ever. I mean, he's probably like the funniest person I've ever met or seen, in that he's just like this joke slinging robot. Like there's nothing that you could throw at him that he can't just, like a fucking knife thrower, that guy. I mean, I don't know, but the other thing for me is that like I'm like ridiculous. Like, I stopped drinking and smoking weed because of a podcast bet. Like, I boxed a guy because of a podcast bet. Like, I
You
voted
voted
because of a
for the greatest
voted
president known to man.
I voted for because of like a podcast. Like, I'm watching the Big Bang Theory, and I know this show is bad, but like I can't get enough of it. And I think I kind of get off a little bit on like how ridiculous it is. Like, I don't know what. Maybe I just didn't get enough attention as a kid. I was a middle child.
Oof.
And so like maybe like I really need everyone to look at me where I'm like, look at me box this guy, look at me vote for this guy, look at me play this boomer game from 1989 on Twitch. Like, hey, like look at me, please pay attention to me. We're all dying. Like life is
You've
short.
spent years in the slums of L.A. with all these aspiring actors and wannabe personalities. Surely you have a great mental understanding of the illness these people have with their rampant narcissism and desire to be seen. You've grown up with these people. You've worked jobs with these people. You've seen it firsthand.
I I mean, yes. I mean, you're like the most terrifying thing is someone with talent and ambition, because you're just like, oh God, like like you would step on a baby to succeed. Like I remember one time, like hold on, Kumail, what the fuck, Kumail from the Big Sink, from the Big Sick,
Nanjiani?
Kumail Nanjiani, like I met him, he was super nice, and then at some point, like he stopped saying hello to like everybody. Like at some point, like he went Hollywood, and I remember like hearing him on Mark Maron, and Mark Maron going to him like, "You are the most ambitious person I've ever seen, and it is absolutely terrifying to me." And then for me, Kumail Nanjiani's like he's the lead off in the new episode of the Twilight Zone, in like the Twilight Zone, Jordan Peele's Twilight Zone relaunch. And I'm thinking to myself like, well, what's the twist? Like, is the twist that he's likable and someone you'd want to watch? Like, is that like do 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 do? You empathize with Kumail Nanjiani. But yeah, like I mean, another thing somebody said about Los Angeles that I truly believe is that like nobody goes out there because they're happy. They all go out there looking for something, and then that something doesn't make them happy, and they end up like Andy Signore, just texting every single girl who will possibly talk to them, hoping that like they will have sex with him at a Comic-Con hotel room, and that will somehow validate his existence and stop the crying child inside him for just a second. If I can have sex with this 19-year-old girl who's cosplaying as Zero Suit Samus, maybe I'll be good enough and smart enough, and doggone it, people like me. And then you have the sex, and it's just like, no, you're still there. You look in the mirror, and you're still sad. I don't know. What do you think, Monkey Jones?
You know, I think, if I'm going to be honest, I think this whole Me Too movement might have ruined Andy Signore's life. I really do. Speaking of things ruining people's lives, Asterios, did you know that my life was recently ruined?
Again? How many
Again.
times? How many times can one man's life be ruined?
Let me tell you, this is the most interaction with another human being I'm going to have for a long, long time. I feel like I'm grounded as a kid. Avengers Endgame has ruined my life because I am so adverse to getting it spoiled. As of right now, I have not been spoiled, but that's why my life is ruined, because I'm not spoiled. Do you know how hard it is, guys in our positions who are getting fan comments, tweets at us, emails, all this shit, sending Discord messages going straight to my phone? If somebody wants me to know information and they send it to me, it will pop up and be all highlighted on my phone within 1 second. Do you know how hard it is for guys like us to go into these movies unspoiled without putting in so much fucking effort?
You're a 4chaner. Like, don't people change their like titles to like I remember one time I went on 4chan and like somebody's like Vanity Fair was just like Professor Xavier and Logan both die in the movie Logan. And I was like, God, And I was like, well, I'm not seeing that movie
Well,
then.
I'll have you know, Asterios, it's more than that. I know if I click on my 4chan app on my phone, I'm going to get spoiled. That was a long ago.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing?
I couldn't hear you for a second.
Oh, shit, okay. But it's way more insidious than that. I cannot use any app on my phone. I cannot use any website. I was scrolling through Twitter. Fucking Dick Masterson retweets spoilers to the film. I say, okay, no more Twitter. No more Twitter. Turn off notifications for fucking Twitter until I see this movie tomorrow night. So I've been going, but by the end of it, it will have been 36 hours of me essentially having my phone on airplane mode. I can't have Discord notifications on. If somebody sends me a message or ats me, the spoiler's gonna pop right up. I was scrolling through YouTube trying to find something to watch because I'm so goddamn bored because I can't go on any of these other platforms. There was a cam rip of the movie already. As of this morning, it was in some Asian language, I don't know. Somebody pulled out their fucking iPhone and recorded the entire movie and posted it online. Other people are taking like key scenes from the film from this cam rip and uploading them to YouTube with the title being the spoiler that the scene is. And YouTube was recommending these videos to me in my fucking feed because all I watch is hype about fucking Avengers. So the algorithm thought I'd want to see this. So I can't even casually browse YouTube without getting the fucking movie spoiled. I can't stream on Twitch because the chat, somebody will fucking text-to-speech donate the spoiler and I'll hear it played by a robot's voice. I posted a new video today. One of my big comeback videos, 35-minute scripted big video. And I can't even read the fucking comments. I just want to read to see if people like the new video. I have no idea how it's being received. I don't know if there was an audio error halfway through and all the comments are saying re-upload the video and fix it. I have no idea because I can't look at the comments until Friday. Like, what? I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. Because after this podcast goes up, people are going to know how easy it is to fuck with me. I'm going to literally turn off my phone all day tomorrow. Nobody on this earth will be able to contact me for the entirety of Thursday. What am I going to do without the internet, Asterios? I'm going to have to be like you when you were a youngin'. I don't know how are us Zoomers supposed to fend off not having the internet for an entire day? What do we do?
It's funny because this is something that I've often recommended that you do, and the only reason you're doing it is because you don't want to find out what happens to Iron Man. Like,
what? Something happens to Iron Man, you son of a bitch! What?
I don't know. Because I don't click anything to do with the Avengers because I'm just like, I'm gonna see it. So like I don't care. Like I don't need to know what happened at the premiere party. I don't need to
I watched the red carpet
you got my money,
premiere.
Guys. You got my fucking.
I watched
it
live.
saying,
I said I watched the red carpet premiere live.
Yeah, of course you did. Yes. I'm sure you did. Like it's like, look, man. You got my $16. Okay, I'll do my homework, Marvel. Like, okay, Disney, I'll go do my homework because we're doing Kino Sunday night. Is it Kino, which is Erich's big send off?
Well, he can't be there Sunday night because he's watching Game of Thrones. So I have no idea how we're gonna schedule this Kino episode.
Well, couldn't we just do it before, or does he at work before that or something? Because I'd be down to do it. Game of Thrones airs at 9. I'd be down to start at 7 or 6. I could go.
We'll have to talk to him. I have no idea.
We'll figure it out offline. That's totally fine. But I can tell you how I think the movie ends.
Oh yeah, you wanna? I guess this is the last episode before everybody in the world will have seen the movie, so it's our only real opportunity now to make our big predictions, and everybody can listen to this and then go see it and see if we were right.
Yeah. Yes. This is something that I just realized the other day, because these movies are made by. It's like these movies really fucking know what they're doing. I've read so many Marvel comics. I have probably read thousands of Marvel comics, of like individual issues of Marvel comics, like not even hundreds, like thousands. Marvel loves a wedding. They love wedding issues and wedding and like special doubles. Like there are so many like special double-sized wedding issues of the X-Men or Fantastic Four or the Avengers where nothing happens. There's no villain. No villain tries to break up the wedding. it's just like a bunch of really great jokes, and you have a good time with these characters, and then somebody gets married. So I think
You think
Tony's.
Professor Hulk and Thor will get married?
Ah, that would be hot as fuck. But no, I mean Pepper Potts and it's
Are
so
they not
funny how
already married though? Don't they have a child on the way?
no. They
Oh,
at
that's
the
right.
end,
He kept saying you're invited to the wedding. Okay. Yeah, no, that
yeah,
makes sense.
at the end of the Spider-Man movie, like Tony Stark's like, I got a bunch of reporters in here, and we're going to announce you as the new Spider-Man, as the new Avenger. And then he's like, I don't want to be an Avenger. And then he goes, okay, well, I guess we're getting married then, Pepper. And like he pulls out a wedding ring, and he like and like he tosses it to her, and he's like, I guess that's what we're going to announce today, that we're engaged. So it's like, I think Tony has to live, because that's how a real Marvel fan would end this.
With
At
him and Pepper
Tony's
Potts getting married.
with him and Pepper Potts getting married. And I also think that Tony Stark is going to suffer some kind of crippling injury so that he can't be Iron Man. But I think that they did a really brilliant thing in the comics with Ironheart, the black teenage Iron Woman man that pissed off alt right assholes for no good reason, because like she's a good character. Like I read all those comics. She had her assistant, her AI assistant isn't like Jarvis or Friday, it's Tony Stark. Like Tony Stark made a digital copy of his brain, and that's the voice that female black Iron Woman man hears in her head. And I think that's how they're going to keep Robert Downey Jr. in these movies.
You think he'll keep doing voiceover forever on this shit?
Because if there's one thing Marvel is good at, it's making a digital version of an aging actor. Like in the Ant-Man movies, digital Michael Douglas.
They even
fucking
did it
looks
to Robert Downey Jr. in Civil War.
Yeah, and he looked fantastic. Like I think they're just going to have Robert Downey Jr. be like the AI, like I think they're just going to have an AI Robert Downey Jr. so that forever he can be blue. And if he looks kind of weird when he's acting, it's because he's a robot. And then, of course, so Captain America will have to die. That's what I think. What do you think?
Yeah, I think one of them is going to have to die.
Yeah.
I'm not too concerned about the ending. I'm more interested in, based on the reviews I've seen, and this has a spectacular review on Rotten Tomatoes.
Great.
It's at like 97. I've seen some good sources say the trailers, like 90% of the trailer shots are only the first 15 minutes of the movie, which
That's
is
great.
It's like the greatest thing you could ever hear, because it, without being spoiled some other way, you don't know what the movie's about. If the whole trailer is just the beginning of the movie, I have no idea what the fuck's gonna happen in this movie. It's 3 hours of blank slate. Sure, they're gonna fight Thanos, but that's not gonna be 3 fucking hours. What are they doing in this movie? And if all the, I've been following the production, of course, for years. I have an idea in my head of what I think it might be, and if I'm right, and I don't know if I should say it because I think it might be right, this might be my favorite movie ever made if it does what I think it'll do.
Well, I mean, I gave you my ending, but that's entirely based on the comics. Like I watch these MCU movies, but I just watch them because it's like the same reason I read comics. I like them. They're not high art, but I like them. So I guess how about this, listener? Spoiler alert: you're about to get an incredibly educated opinion that may, in fact, be the ending. So this, if you want to stop playing it now, go to boomerversusuber.com. We're selling tickets for Miami, and we're about to start selling tickets for Philadelphia. And I'm really close to finding a place in Orlando. So this summer tour is absolutely heating up.
Do we have any tour dates that we can officially Hunger Games canon and say, hey, this one's dead. We're not doing it officially.
Oh, not yet, but I mean,
we'll kill off some of them in the future.
Yeah. Brand new date, Saturday, July 27th in Miami. We're doing 152 in a really cool looking space. Also, and tickets are available right now at boomerversusumer.com. Today, I also put down a deposit on a venue in Philly for Friday, June 14th. It's called the Old City Collective. It's right in Center City East. And and that'll be Friday, June 14th. And tickets will be available for that pretty soon. But tickets are available for Miami right now. So that's it. But Mumkey, what do you think's gonna happen?
Okay. Feast your eyes on this one. There is a set photo from like 2 years ago of Captain America and Iron Man in their costumes from the original Avengers on the streets of New York. And one of the reviews I read said, yeah, there's one point in the movie where they acknowledge a movie with a similar plot and make a joke about it. And I'm like, what could that movie be? Could it possibly be my favorite movie, Back to the Future Part 2? The film where the plot of Back to the Future 2 is that he goes back to the plot of he goes to the first movie and watches the first movie unfold while hiding from it. I think they might be doing the greatest thing in cinematic history, Asterios. I think this 3-hour finale film will be them Back to the Futuring 2 into all of the other Marvel movies for whatever reason. I think they're going to literally Back to the Future 2, back to Avengers, Age of Ultron, Civil War, all that shit, maybe fight their past selves, maybe they have to hide from their past selves, and we see the attack on New York from unique different angles while the future Avengers are like hiding behind buildings trying to get to the Tesseract. That's what I think's going to happen. And if it is, that's my favorite gimmick in film history, is that Back to the Future 2 is just Back to the Future 1 with Marty running around. If they do that with this $1 billion budget superhero movie with 22 movies in canon, I don't know if there's a more epic film experience for me than that. I mean, how do you beat that?
That is something that happens a lot in Marvel comics as well. It's like
they Back to the Future 2 into the other issues.
Yeah, they'll be like, oh shit, we have to use Doctor Doom's time platform to fix X, or like Reed Richards always has a time machine. Somebody always has a fucking time machine in these movies, and like Age of Ultron is like this really cool story. I don't think it gets a lot of credit. Hank Pym invents in the comics, like Hank Pym invents Ultron, and Ultron always finds a way to win and take over the universe. So Wolverine goes back in time and just like murders Hank Pym in his crib, and because Wolverine's like, I'm a murderer. It's what I do. I'm very good at murder. I have knives for hands, and it causes all sorts of problems, so they have to go back in time again, and then like Wolverine has to go back in time to stop himself from doing this, and so like Wolverine has to fight Wolverine to stop Wolverine from killing Hank Pym, so Hank Pym can make Ultron. It's just Marvel loves that shit.
I love it too.
That's great.
Yeah.
I absolutely love. That's hot as hell.
Well, I guess in 24 hours from right now, I'll know if I was right, because I'll be sitting in that fucking theater watching it opening night. I'm so excited. Still don't know. Maybe tomorrow with my phone literally off. Maybe I'll just binge watch the first 3 Avengers movies, because that'll take all day.
Yeah. Yes, it absolutely will. Have you ever seen Ant-Man or Ant-Man 2?
I've seen all of them.
Oh, I think I've seen every one of them except Thor: The Dark World. Maybe I'll finally watch Thor: The Dark World.
I don't think it'll be relevant to this movie.
I doubt it, but it's kind of like I like Chris Hemsworth. I always like tough ladies in movies. Like I like Lady Sif is probably pretty hot.
Kat Dennings is pretty good in those movies. Underrated character.
Kat Dennings? Who's Kat Dennings?
She's like Thor's best friend on Earth.
Oh, that's great.
She's right. Natalie Portman's friend.
Natalie Portman's best. I fucking love Kat Dennings. Kat Dennings is hot as shit. All right, well, I guess we'll fucking find out.
And if you want to find out with us, face to face, folks, other than Izukino, if you want to see this podcast, the video feed version exclusive for patrons of Mumkey and Asterios, you can go to patreon.com/Mumkey or patreon.com/Asterios. So cheap, any dollar amount, right? To just get the video version of the show.
Yeah. And hilariously, I think my Patreon starts at $2, and I think Mumkey starts at $1. So if you want to get the video feed for half price, go to patreon.com/Mumkey.
Wow, competitive.
And yeah, it's the deal of the century. Like, go check it out.
Yeah, perfect. We got What about the merch? We opened up that we might be doing some merch. Do you want to
Oh,
give
yeah.
people a tease?
Yeah, I found a very cool poster provider. We're gonna be selling these super cool poster packs on tour. Where like for $20 or $15, we haven't priced it yet. You'll be able to get like 5 or 6 awesome posters. So like you will essentially be able to decorate your room for like the cost of seeing Avengers. And we will sign the posters too. I got some silver Sharpies. We are also going to make cool little pin packs. A dude hooked me up with like a pin maker. And then finally, I really do want to make like I am at least going to make Asterios furry body pillows.
Why does it have to be furry?
Because that's the art that I have. It's me as furry. Like somebody sent me like incredible 300 DPI 17. Like it's two size to make a furry pillowcase, and it's the most depraved thing I think I've ever seen in real life.
Do you have a copy you can show me right now?
Yes. Yeah. Hold on. Let me go to
Video exclusive.
Yes. Yes. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. I will send it to your. I'll put it here in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Give me just 1 second, and Zwick, you'll have to just cut out some of this chatter real quick. Give me just 1 sec to pull it up.
My poor Patreon Discord.
Yeah?
They're adding me, and I can't click on it to see what they want.
I know, because
I'm gonna get spoiled. I have to be careful.
Kids they think it's funny for some reason.
It is my fault for caring about some fucking movie so much that I would let it impact my life in this way. But still, it's the one thing I have left. I just want to be surprised at the movies. That's all I fucking want. Just kill me after it comes out. After I see it, you can kill me. Let me have this one fucking thing.
You're
Please.
You're allowed to want to not be spoiled. Like it doesn't make you like an entitled millennial to like not want the capstone to this 10-year movie project spoiled. Come on.
Yeah, no, I think that's right. I already know the comments saying, "Oh, you fucking Marvel fanboy, DC for life."
They're good movies. Like I don't know what to tell you guys. They're fucking good movies. No one else has been able to replicate this formula. Like DC tried to do it, Star Wars tries to do it. It's like, sorry, like those aren't good movies you're making. Marvel's making good movies. I don't know why, but they are. It's weird how they're all good. You shouldn't have 26 good movies, but they do. It's weird. I love it.
Okay, I think you sent me this link to your DeviantArt horrible furry. I have not clicked on it yet. I think maybe I should save my reaction for the big grand Asterios. We're hitting a big milestone here. Episode 25 next week, Asterios? Is that 25 episodes we're gonna hit?
That's a big fucking deal.
That's
fantastic.
That's half as big as 50. And a fourth as big, I believe, if my math is right, of 100.
Your math is as correct as your opinion is probably going to be on these goddamn Marvel movies. I mean, they don't make Time Stone for no reason. Yeah, goddamn, that's great. Anyway, it's almost 12:30 in the morning here. I gotta go to bed because I gotta be up at 7. Mumpy Jones has a long day of not getting spoiled. Does take effort. I do applaud you for putting in the work.
That's right. I'm gonna literally, after this podcast, I'm gonna upload this video to Patreon. I'm going to turn off my phone and I'll check back in with everybody on Friday. So for Boomer versus Zoomer 24, I've been Mumpy Jones.
And I've been Asterios Kokkinos. Get tickets at boomerversuszoomer.com. We'll see you after the Avengers.
See you then.